Hello, I'm Liam Stock.
And I'm Stefan Bureau.
And this is our project on the Ojibwe tribe.
Our first topic is on the daily life of the Ojibwe people, which is comprised of several subtopics, which includes housing, transportation, clothing, food, and more.
Our first subtopic in the daily life of the Ojibwe people is housing. Their housing is mainly consist of wigwams, which are teepees that were made from bent saplings and covered in bark or animal hides, which could shelter over a dozen people. If you direct your attention to the central photo, you'll see the spacious inside of the wigwam. But if instant shelter was needed, a small wigwam could be made in less than a day.
The second subtopic is the diet and hunting methods of the Ojibwe people. Their diet was made up of mainly meat such as deer, berries, nuts, roots, and seeds. Their staple foods included maple syrup, which was derived from maple trees, much like the one on the bottom right of the slide. Wild rice is the other staple food, which they called zinzania. Thanks to their climate and terrain, their territory was ideal for agriculture. The Ojibwe hunters used a variety of traps to capture their prey, along with spears, clubs, and bow and arrows.
Our third slide is transportation. The Ojibwe people used canoes to travel to other lands. The main type of canoe is the ancient dugout canoe. These were ideal because they could hold over 24 people, but only took 3 men to operate. When they traveled afar on foot, they used moccasins, like the one in the top right corner.
Our last subtopic on the daily life of the Ojibwe people is clothing. The women wore long dresses with removable sleeves. The men of the tribe wore breech clothes, which were shown on the left side of the slide, and leggings. The chief wore a leather headband with feathers, like the one on the right of the slide, and painted his face and arms with bright colors on special occasions. Most men, including the chief, would wear tribal tattoos.
Our second topic is the social and political relations of the Ojibwe. The Ojibwe tribe is quite political for a First Nations group. Tribe members have roles just as in national governments, where they vote on topics like on the freedom to select their profession. This democracy began around the time the Ojibwe tribe formed, which was roughly 400 years ago.
Many Ojibwe came from the eastern areas to North America, which they called Turtle Islands. They traded widely across the continent for thousands of years. They migrated to neighboring continents. They discovered canoe routes to move wherever they pleased in the Americas. Some historical locations of bands, also known as tribes, include the Pilgers and the Lake Superior Band.
The Ojibwe had a vast amount of ceremonies. Some rituals included birch bark scrolls, petroforms, pictographs, and sweat lodges. Teaching lodges are used to teach future generations about the language and ancient ways of the past. The traditional ways and teachings are preserved in these living ceremonies.
The Ojibwe understanding of kinship includes immediate family and extended family. Siblings generally share the same relationship with their cousins as they would to each other because they are all part of the same clan. This altered system allows for young siblings to share the same kinship with young cousins. This system of kinship is an example of the lifestyle and ways of the Ojibwe reflecting on the past and shaping the future.
The Ojibwe are very spiritual people. Most stories are based around creation and the origin of ceremonies. They would use their spiritual beliefs as guidance through their lives. The Ojibwe were people who crafted the dream catcher, believing that they will catch bad dreams so that they don't reach the sleeper. This is showed on the top of the slide.
It's now time for Fun Facts!
The population of the Ojibwe tribe is a
whopping
220,000.
The Ojibwe and Chipa mean
the same thing!
The Ojibwe are the third largest Native American tribe in the
United States of America.
The Ojibwe Indians are known for their use of birch bark. They used it to make
canoes and wigwams,
and even recorded Ojibwe history on the birch bark scrolls.
In addition to hunting and fishing, the Ojibwe harvested wild rice and berries, and cultivated maize and squash.
The Ojibwe also traded copper spears and arrowheads for food.
The Ojibwe were considered heroes because they were the only Native American tribe to defeat
The Sioux.
which was their rival tribe.